I looked at rap as being New York the Mecca. You get me? And they were rappers. We were gangbanging and shit over here. So I didn't know how to go about becoming the rapper and writing until I heard Toddy T, Eazy, and them, because they put our lifestyle into words. Gang banging, selling drugs, police brutality, racial profiling, not being able to get a job, coming home from prison, baby mamas and beef with the enemies. That's what we were living. So that gave me the insight to start writing basically about what I saw every day. Because I was 14, 15, running the streets, gang banging, trying to sell drugs, going to jail every other night for loitering because we was gang bangers, getting shot at or getting sweated or getting in fights and all that. So I just started writing about that because it's what I knew. And even though I had the skill to be a regular MC, like I could have wrote songs like LL, I'm bad, or, I'm the freshest on the mic or whatever like that, but it didn't fit the criteria of what we were going through. So I felt that it would be just best to write about Tragnew Park and the gang banging and the dope selling and the police, because then I felt like that would be my way. First of all, it would be my way to represent the neighborhood I was from. Second of all, it would give people an insight on why we gang banging and what we do. So that's what I started writing about, and that's what gave me the insight to come up with songs that I come up with.
And Tragnew Park, now Eazy was Kelly Park or
Kelly Park.
Okay, so is that, how far is that in proximity from each other?
Basically, Kelly Park was on the east side of Compton. We were on the west side of Compton. So you probably say maybe about 2 to 3 miles from each other.
Oh wow. Okay, so you guys are right there.
Everything was on Alondra. You go down Alondra, you're gonna run through half of the Crip gangs in Compton. If you start on Alondra and Atlantic, you're going to go through Atlantic Drive, you're going to go through Kelly Park, you're going to go through Southside neighborhood, you're going to go through Spook Town, Acacia Block, Farm Dogs, Park Village, Wilmington Arms, Nutty Block, and then you hit Tragnew and then Lantana and then Swamp Tana.
Wow.
So all of those gangs are on one main street going down through Compton.
Man,
and then you go down Rosecrans, and there's all the blood gangs.
That's, you guys had it guarded down pretty safe. I mean, that's, it's like in Chicago, what I'm saying, they got gangs that go back to the 40s over there and 30s. You know what I mean? It's like, the culture, the gang culture is just, it goes back a long time in this country. People don't understand. It's not new, No,
it's not. It's not new. And it's kind of hard for people to understand because, like you said, you can go back to the Al Capone days. They were banging. They just didn't wear rags and bandanas and claim different colors or whatever. But they respected their territories. You couldn't cross territories. You couldn't make money in other territories. And you got killed or you got dealt with. And it just trickled down, and it's what it is. We formed, Crips and Bloods came from dudes wanting to show their activism for their communities or whatever and stand up for their rights in their communities. And it just transitioned over because, as you grow, things get to a different place and feelings in different times and, people die and beef start or whatever. But gangs have been around for forever.
Yeah.
It's nothing new. So it's something that In my days, it's what it is. I grew up in Compton. If I grew up anywhere else, probably would have been different. If I grew up anywhere else, I probably wouldn't be talking to you right now. My lifestyle would have probably been totally different. But that was the path that happened, you know. It wasn't that my moms didn't have a good job. My mom's had a good job. My father worked for General Motors. I mean, but things happen, you know.
It's right outside your front door.
I mean, there you go. My parents split up. We had to move from one place. My moms had to move to another place, and there you go. I was introduced to the world of reality. You get me? You know how people cross that side of the tracks and go, damn, this is going on over here? I'd have never thought. And that's what happened. You cross that side of the tracks, and then you see the reality of poverty and low income and racial profiling and gangs and people just struggling to get out of hell. So I was introduced that at the age of 5, 6 years old, and lived it my whole life until I started rapping and got up out of there.
Well, and the beautiful thing is, by you getting up out of there, you're able to now coach your son's football or be involved in sports and help kids, you know what I'm saying, not go down that path too. So by you making it out, had a trickle-down effect as well. You got to be proud of that.
Yeah, you know, it's just a chance to, you know, it gives him an opportunity, you know, because it's no longer about me or whatever. It's about him, the next generation. And it was just about trying to give him a chance. Not to say that there aren't brothers that's still in the struggle of the neighborhoods who are trying to make positive aspects, you know. Shout out my nigga, rest in peace, Nipsey. We got people like Big U. We got a lot of people who are trying to, you know, be activists right in their home base, which is a great thing too. Unfortunately, you know, some of us in transitioning times, we had to get out because back in the 80s and 90s, it was hell. You get me? Growing up in Compton, South Central, Watts, whatever. So it's just a way to get him to a different point to where he doesn't have to see certain things, and just to give him an opportunity. You know, it was a hard opportunity that I had. You know, I didn't get an opportunity. I had to fight for it. I had to go through gang banging and doing all that, jail and, you know, bad shit and having kids young and doing, you know, I went through all that. I didn't want the kids to have to go through that if I could prevent it. And the way of doing that is sustaining yourself, becoming a grown man, trying to start a business, which I did as far as making records and trying to stack and save money so you'll be able to introduce your kids into a different format than what you had to go through, because nobody wants their children to have to go through the struggles that they went through. Just like my parents didn't want me to have to go through what they went through as parents and so forth and so on.
Make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, like, comment, share. Also go over to UGSforLife.com, download the entire archive, and check out new episodes on Apple Podcasts and Blog Talk Radio.